Blessed be the fruit, everyone. It is your girl, Sharana from Pay Your Weight, and today I'm going to be talking about The Handmaid's Tale Season 3, Episode 1, Night. I am so happy to be back with you guys. I'm so sorry that I'm late getting this out, but life just came at me fast, and here we are. We're a couple of days late, but it doesn't matter. We're going to go ahead and talk Handmaid's Tale Episode 1. So the season picks up from where we left off at the end of Season 2, when everybody was upset, or if you wasn't upset, I was upset because June really made me mad. Because they went through all of this risk in their life for you to just give Emily Nicole when all of y'all could have been safe. But I understand she did not want to leave her daughter Agnes. So I was just like, you know what, June, as much as you make me angry, and you've been making me very angry since Season 2, I'm gonna rock with you with this decision, but you better do right by all of us and Agnes, because we can't do this anymore. So she gives the baby to Nicole, and so she decides that she wants to go see her daughter. And so Commander Lawrence, he takes her to the house, and he's like, look, girl, you on your own. This is going to be your funeral because... No, that's the next episode. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm mixing up all the episodes. My bad. But he basically takes her to the house. She goes into the room. She sees the Martha. She tells her where she's at. And so she goes upstairs while she is sleeping. And so she's kind of having a conversation with her, letting her know, hey, I am never going to leave you. I love you. And I was just like, this is so cute. But we know that this isn't going to end well for June. And so we see the sirens as they flash, and then June just kind of drops her head like, dang, bitch, I just got caught, and child, I don't know what's going to happen. And so she gets captured, and so before she leaves, she has a conversation with Agnes's new mother. And so basically they have this discussion where it seems to, like, at first she tells her, like, hey, you got to stop doing this, girl. I understand what you are going through. We bless you for bringing her into this world so we can have a child to take care of. But the last time that you did this, she had nightmares. It is not okay. Like, you are confusing her. And so then June was like, girl, I'm confusing her? I am her mother. She didn't say all of that, but I was just like, ma'am, the disrespect that it took for you to form those words saying that you're confusing her, that you're her mother. I was just like, you are so disrespectful. She is just so raggedy. And so before she leaves, she basically asks her, what is she like? I mean, because for all these years that she's been captured, she hasn't been able to watch her daughter grow up. And so then she starts telling her all these fun things. She's happy. She's trying to convince her new dad that she wants a dog. She loves to cook. And so they're having this nice exchange. She's making June feel better because at least June knows that her daughter is being taken care of. And so she tells her, like, thank you so much for welcoming her into your home and taking care of my child. And so I'm thinking everything's going to be fine and dandy. And then the girl walks up to her, and then she looks at her, June, in her face, and she was just like, she has your eyes. And I was like, bitch, why wouldn't she have her eyes? Like, that's her mama. What are you talking about? She has your eyes. Like, she's like, oh, it's a miracle. Girl, they ain't no miracle. That's genetics. Like, the way that these women are just so delusional about the craziness that they tolerate, that they let happen to other women, it just is mind-boggling to me. I just don't understand why they feel so justified in their thinking in this new doctrine of Gilead, and why they feel like they're exempt or that what they're doing is not horrible. So she tells her that. And so she looks at her and be like, I'm her mother. Of course she does. I'm her mother. And then the girl kind of gave her a little stank face, and then they took her away. But I was just like, girl, stop it. That whole conversation, that whole interaction was just disrespectful on so many levels for me, because I was just like, why do you think this is okay? Like, everything that you said, minus what you were telling her about her daughter, it doesn't make any sense to me. So we see that cut to the Waterfords home, and we see that Fred is waiting in the bedroom, in June's bedroom. Serena goes upstairs and walks past Nick, and he basically says, like, hey, we need to alert everyone. And she was just like, no, give them more time to get away. And I was like, oh. Serena, you gonna be that bold with Fred? And so he's looking at her like, and then I'm looking at her like, ooh. And then she was just like, I did what was best. Like, I had to make sure that my child got away. And I was just like, okay, Serena, I still don't rock with you. I don't care how many redemptive lines they give you, storylines of you changing your heart. I don't give a damn, okay? Because you're still raggedy like the rest of them, because you was the one who like helped like come up with this whole philosophy. So you're disrespectful on like other levels than like more than what the other women are. I just can't stand Serena, and I'm sorry if you guys love her little redemptive storyline that they gave her towards the end of season 2 and now into season 3, but I'm not buying it. I don't care. She's raggedy. She the devil. So basically after that, June returns home, and so the commander, he's livid. He yelling, he's screaming. He was like, look at me. The least you could do is look at me. Where is my baby? And then she's like, I'm not paying attention to you. She tells Serena, like, Serena, she's safe. And then Serena like come at her, and I'm like, hold up, girl, like I thought you let her go. And then she was like, did you give my baby to House of Joseph? Did you give it to Emily? Did you give it to like that murderer? Because like she tried to kill Aunt Lydia, which she was rightfully so. It's not okay to kill people, but I mean, Aunt Lydia, like, come on. So she basically tells her like, it's cold outside, like you were supposed to keep her safe. And then like June was like, hold up homie, that feeling that you're feeling right now, that anger, that despair, that sadness, that is how I felt when you chased us in the woods. You tore my baby away from me, okay? So now you see how I feel. And I was like, okay, June, tell her, you better tell her, just read her up and down, left and right, and tell her like, how dare you like try to make it seem like I wasn't doing what was best for my child, like, because Nicole is my child. Like, you said saying that she's your child, she's my child, so like get it together. So after that, Fred tells Nick to take June to her room, and so afterwards Serena's like cleaning her wounds, and then Fred comes and be like, are you okay? And I'm like, Fred get on my nerves so much, y'all. He's a weak man, and then he just disrespectful. And then she's just like, I gotta clean my wound. And then he was like, it'll heal quickly. I was like, say one more thing. Say one more thing. Talk about it's gonna heal quickly, but you the reason that I ain't got no finger right now. Stop it. Just get out of my face, because that's how I felt when Fred was talking. Then he tried to say like, I'm gonna protect you, like how he told this story about how like it was like this kidnapping and it wasn't their fault and all of this. And she's like, I don't need you to protect me. Did anybody tell you to protect me? Did I ask you to do that? No, I did not. I can protect myself. And he was like, I'm the man of this house. I'm here to protect you. Like, I drove you to do what you did. Like, once again, like, you're trying to make everything about you, Fred, and don't nobody care about you. June know you weak. Serena know you weak. Nick know you weak. No one cares. So you sit up here trying to give her this whole speech on how things are going to be different. It's going to go back to how it used to be. Like, we're going to be happy. I'm just like, Fred, just go to work. Go to work, because we don't want to hear none of your lies that you're telling her right now. So Serena, she was really going through something. And so she's getting dressed. And then all of a sudden, this girl didn't set the house on fire. She set the whole house on fire. The house is in flames. June just sitting here staring at the fire, looking at the smoke, touching the walls. I was like, girl, you gonna get like smoke inhalation. Like, you saw what happened on This Is Us. Like, get out of the house. Maybe she wanted to die. I don't know. But I did like the imagery of that scene, like how the fire played out, like the smoke, Serena just standing there, really kind of like metaphorically, like watching, her old life burn away, because at this point she really can't go back to, how it used to be, as Fred was trying to say. Too much has happened. Her eyes are now wide open, a little bit too late, but her eyes are now wide open so that she knows that there is no going back. She can't trust her husband. She can't trust anybody. And so I just thought it was beautiful how they show her just basically wiping the page clear, watching the Waterford's home burn down, and closing this chapter and really starting something new, which I guess will be the revolution of her trying to take back control of Gilead. And so we see that we get everyone out of the house, and basically, actually, I finished that up. So basically, June is sitting outside, and then she's going her separate ways. We see the Waterfords and everybody get into the car, and so then they ask her to get into the van, and then she walks by Nick, and then Nick walked by at first, and then he was just like, take care. And she's like, you too. Because I felt Nick when Nick took her to the room and he told her, like, you are so selfish. Like, all these people risked their lives to save you and you came back. And he's like, you're going to die here. Like, you do realize that. Like, you're never going to get an opportunity like this again. But who's to say that? This girl done ran away how many times? 2 times, 3 times? I don't understand how June is alive still. She is so privileged that it's hard to root for her character, because even out of the rest of the handmaids, June gets away with murder. And I just be sitting there like, why is this girl not dead? Like, is this for the sake of television? Because it's starting to become unrealistic as to how she keeps getting herself out of these crazy situations that I've seen people be killed for less. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. And so I really appreciated Nick saying what everybody else was thinking, like been thinking since last season, that you just take for granted, like how people try to risk their lives for you and you're so hard-headed and selfish. And it just bothers me. So I was like, thank you, Nick, for reading her, because that's what I needed everybody to say to June, like in the second season. So after all of that, we cut to Emily. So Emily's on the run. She has Nicole. Nicole is crying. I was like, ooh, I don't think they're going to make it, y'all. We see the drones are going. The helicopters are out there trying to find Emily. And so, y'all, when Emily's trying to cross the water and then her and the baby fell under the water, I was like, Lord, please don't let Emily and Nicole die. They done been through too much. Just don't let them die like this. I thought the baby was dead. I seriously thought Nicole had died. And I was just like, girl, she gave you one job. And I was just so heartbroken. But then they got back up. And then Nicole started crying, and I started crying, and I was like, thank you, Lord, for saving her. And then we see the Canadian police finds her, and she claims asylum. And I was like, yes, Lord, we have to have something good come out of this episode. And so one of the most powerful scenes of the episode is when Emily walks into the hospital, and then she sees all these people. She's holding a baby. She's wrapped up, trying to keep warm, and then we see them start clapping. And I was like, yeah, I had to shed a couple of tears, because Emily has been through so much, from having her family ripped away from her, being in the colonies, when they basically castrated her. I was just like, she's been through so much, and if anybody deserves this, it is definitely Emily. And so this scene was so powerful to me. And just watching her act out, it was some great acting this episode, as always. But that was my favorite scene of the entire episode, watching her walk into that hospital and be greeted by people. And it kind of finally kind of let her know, like, okay, like, I can take a moment and just breathe for a second. So let me see. What else do we need to cover? Okay, so basically, June gets taken back. And so we see that she's punished. They whip her on her feet because as she's cleaning the floor, we see the wounds that she has. I would try to relate. No, I ain't even going to do that because that's too much. But yeah, so we see that someone comes up to her. She's washing the floor and tells her that Emily and Nicole have made it safe. And then she just smiles because it's just like, okay, well, I went through this for a reason. My baby's safe. Emily's safe. We good. So in the meantime, as we cut back to Canada, we see that Luke and Moira get a call. They receive a package. It's the Polaroid of his daughter. And then he gets emotional. And he's just like, she's so big. And it just really sucks having to watch Luke play the sidelines. There's nothing he can really do but to sit and wait and see, like, if they come back. And so I know that has to just be so nerve-wracking for him, but I'm happy he was given a glimmer of hope as he sees the picture of his daughter. And so we see that June is summoned because she has a new posting, and when she arrives, she realizes that it is Commander Lawrence, the person who she met that was helping save her when she gave the baby to Emily. And so he says, are you gonna be in any trouble? And then she looked and she was like, no, sir. And then a great choice to end the episode, the song with the credits, Good Day by Nappy Roots. June was like, I'm finna kick it. Like, are you serious? Like, y'all really thought y'all was punishing me? Because, you know, they all think he's a murderer. She was like, I'm about to be chilling. I saw that look at her face like, yes, that was that look like when you know your boss not in the office, so you finna just kick it. I felt that. But I love the choice of the song, Good Day. And so, yeah, overall, I think it was a great season opener. I think that they really helped show why June made the decision that she did, because there was a lot of mixed emotions from the viewers when they saw the end of season 2. So I thought it was a very great job of having her go to her daughter, the reason why she stayed in Gilead, the interaction between her and her daughter's new mother. I just thought that it was a very well done episode, and thought that they did a very great job of really setting the tone and setting these new story arcs as we go into season 3. So those are my thoughts on The Handmaid's Tale Season 3, Episode 1. As always, my name is Sharonda from Pay or Wait, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and I will see you guys soon.